None of us feel safe anymore. The rise in violent behavior, the almost second-by-second transmission of that information to our phones and our televisions and our radios makes the world a very, very small place. The focus by the media, their perception that their job is to tell us everything that's wrong with the world in an unbalanced way. There isn't a station that only reports good news. And that has had a significant impact on not just adults, but on children as well. And we know that children's level of cortisol, a hormone that's released under stress, like ours as adults, is higher than ever before. We know that people don't feel safe. We know that people avoid certain situations because almost irrationally they fear that something bad could happen, even though the incidence of those behaviors, while it's greater today than perhaps 20 or 30 years ago, is still very, very small. One of the focuses we've had is on trying to predict who may be at risk to exhibit this kind of behavior. We know that the majority of people with depression don't. The majority of people with anxiety or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or for that matter, any mental health disorder. The majority of people with problems don't resort to violence against others, or for that matter, even against themselves, although suicide among teens and young adults is now about 5,000 to 6,000 a year. But still, while any single suicide is a concern, that number relative to the general population is fairly small. It's not a reason to say it's unimportant or to dismiss it, but to appreciate that we have to do a better job of understanding and identifying and defining those at risk. Our educational system is set up to find children with problems. You have to cross certain thresholds to receive services. We don't go looking for children at risk or youth at risk and provide support before they fail or before they become depressed or before they become violent. We don't have any means of making that prediction. We do know that the more risky behaviors you engage in and the greater degree to which you engage in them, the more likely it is you might resort to violent or aggressive behavior. We do know that the fewer strengths you have at your disposal, not just within you, but within your family, within the community around you, the less support you have, the less positive your mindset is about who you are and where your place is in the world, the more likely you will resort to violent or aggressive behavior. But we don't have a formula that allows us to predict who will or will not cross that threshold of thinking about those behaviors versus actually engaging in those behaviors. And we don't really know how the incidence of those behaviors may be influencing people to try the same thing. What we know is we have to do a better job of not just understanding and appreciating risks and risky behavior, we also have to do a better job of understanding and appreciating strengths and assets. And the RISE is one of the newer instruments, and I think we're going to see more of them, that simultaneously evaluates risky behavior and strengths or assets.